Hey everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks with Hachiman. If you remember a month or two ago, I brought you a video in my T110E4 that was titled "Sometimes 7K Damage Just Isn't Enough." Unfortunately, this is another one of those battles. Uh, Obviously, a Tier 10 match. 9 Tier 10s on each team. Actually, 9 on our team, 8 on the other. And then some 9s and some 8 lights. And let me apologize for the fact that I've got nothing but premium and HE ammo loaded on this tank. I was messing around with it and I forgot to flip back to my normal ammo loadout. But that's okay. Everyone will forgive me. I like to support the middle with this tank, or at least advance a little bit before I make a decision which direction I want to cut. But I do tend to like supporting the middle and trying to put some shots across into the village. I don't like the linear fighting that happens here, especially with a tank destroyer. Especially with this tank destroyer, I find the gun is so inaccurate. I feel like I have to get pretty close, and close is not good for this tank. Its armor will not hold up against, like that, a Death Star. So I'm watching this T-49, and I'm never going to get a shot on him at this range. He's also a pretty solid player. Speaking of which, real quick, XVM's giving this a 44%er. We've got one guy with a 2K plus WN8. They also only have one, but they have a lot more green. We've got a couple reds. I'm always hoping that one of the red players will rise to the occasion and have the game of his life. Unfortunately, I don't think it happens on this battle. I'm watching those guys in the middle. They got a pretty big house protecting them from me, but I'm thinking I can get on this E50M if I just keep moving a little bit forward. T71 gets in my way. Keeping T54 lightweight gets in my way. Keeping an eye on the ridge, making sure I don't go over it. But I'm almost to the point where I can put fire on that E50M. I just lock on. I don't need ouch. I don't need to aim with a premium round on an E50M. It's going to go through, especially because I was fairly certain I had his rear. And he's dead. Biggest downfall to this tank is that reload time on that 155mm. I want to put the hurting on these guys. I also don't want to really go over this ridge, but there I'm spotted finally, probably by the 430. His shot eats my track. Whew, T-49 fires that big gun launcher round. Does a little bit of damage. Not terribly worried about him. And oh, look at that damage roll. 586. That was brutally bad. Well, he's dead. Moving on in life. Continuing to advance. Aiming right at the cheek. Nope, don't get it. Alright, machine gun port. By the way, that is an important thing. That's a core weak spot on most of the Tier 10 American tanks, is those machine gun ports right on the very top. Put a shell right through it on that E3. He could do the same thing to me. T110E4, M48 Patton, they all have that same weak spot. And 110E3 goes down to a shot from the Waffentrager. Now, at this point, with the exception of this, you might say we're in a pretty good position here. We got some guys over here looking to make the push on the enemy base. So Hachiman decides he wants to try to get up here to help out his guys from behind. It's a little bit slow going, but I'm hoping that they can hold them there. Then I spot this T-49. I want some payback. And I get it. 3,111 damage, my first kill. I don't fret about not getting a lot of kills with this tank. it's designed to do as much damage as possible. If I don't get the credit for the kill, that's fine. Death Star, ooh, got very lucky on that roll from him. And I had an HE round loaded there because I was thinking I was going to be shooting at the Waffentrager. So I get minimal damage on the FV. And I'm back to loading my premium ammunition. I had forgotten to mention I loaded an HE round for that Waffentrager. But then I decided to turn around. The reason I decided to turn around is these guys have backed up. I got to go up and over the corner. And by the way, this tank has crappy gun depression. So I don't really want to do that. And the fact of the matter is, our 113 is not going to last very long against these guys. So I kind of sacrificed the Pershing. He had no prayer. I knew he had no prayer. I stopped one moment to see if I got a shot on the SU and say, forget it, let's get moving. I knew that Pershing didn't have a prayer. And unfortunately in that instance, the red player did not surprise me. He did exactly what he should not have done. What he should have done is charged up towards the base to try to catch that other arty. But anyway, alright, cresting the hill, I got the IS-7. Nice shot. A little bit of a low damage roll. Well, I mean, of course, it was a kill shot. Oh, our already kills our 113. I didn't need that to happen. I needed him alive. I've got the ass end of the E100 right now. Somehow he's not aware of me. If I can get one more good shot, actually an average damage roll, I can kill him and move on to other things. Not sure what he's trying to do right now. Oh. He ammo racks me, which I repaired, of course. I just need one shot on him. He bounces, and now I got him. He shouldn't have taken that shot. He fired over the cleft in the rocks right there and just skated right off the top of my turret. I think on the right side. He might have been aiming at the machine gun port, but that's a difficult shot. The target's in motion. You only see it for a moment. Once he fired, that was it. I had him. I just had to aim carefully and not miss. Got those guys back there behind me. I'm trying to get on this Foch. I've got HE loaded because I don't need much to kill him. Oh, I lose him for a moment. Blind shot, get the kill. I still have an HE round loaded. But it's down to me and this Waffentrager off Panzer IV. He's almost dead. There's the Death Star. Exactly what I didn't want to see. And then that's that. Even if I had had a premium round loaded there, it wouldn't have mattered. I'd still be dead. But obviously the shot on the Waffentrager, or on the Foch, the Foch 155 went unrecorded. That put me over 6,000 damage. High caliber, obviously, with 4 kills. So, number of other medals like Duelist and Fire for Effect and Bruiser and blah 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 Fighter. Anyway, it was a high adrenaline battle, that's for sure. But it felt like every time I moved to reinforce somewhere else, to reinforce one spot, another spot was falling. But it's still a battle to be proud of, to be sure. And someone on the other team, I don't remember who it was. I think it was the guy in the Foch who actually sent me a message afterwards congratulating me on my performance, even though it was a loss. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this one, guys. It was a little bit of a heartbreaker, but